Jerry had been chatting with Sophia for only 1 month, yet it was enough to make him believe he was in love with her. Sophia was an ONLYFANS girl who sold her body to men for money, but Jerry, blinded by his feelings, decided to trash his devoted fiancé and marry her instead. Emily was Jerry's fiancée. Emily and Jerry had been a couple for 6 years. They were not married because Jerry was still struggling to find his foot. They both loved each other. But over the years, Emily's attraction to Jerry had reduced greatly. She had gained some weight, and he felt she was not so attractive anymore. Emily did not notice that Jerry's attention on her had diminished with time. She continued to love him devotedly and believed in him. Then one day, everything changed. Jerry got a big promotion at work with an increase in salary. Emily was overjoyed for him, thinking this was the breakthrough they had been waiting for. But instead of bringing them closer, the money seemed to push Jerry further away. He became distant, acting as if she no longer mattered. He would make little comments about her appearance, calling her unattractive and finding fault with everything she did. Emily didn't know it yet, but Jerry had become busy with someone else. Sophia, a slim, stunning, ONLYFANS model he had secretly been chatting with. He spent his newfound money trying so hard to win her attention, all while Emily remained in the dark, unaware of what was going on, but still loving him with all her heart. She knew there was something wrong about his recent behavior, but she tried to brush it off. Deep down, however, her heart ached. Some weeks later, Emily discovered she was pregnant for him. She was thrilled, but decided to keep it a secret for a little while, planning to surprise Jerry with the news on a special day. She imagined his face lighting up with joy when she told him they were going to be parents. But that day never came. One afternoon, while Emily was at work, her phone buzzed. It was Jerry. He sounded so happy over the phone. "I'll be hosting a small party later this evening," he announced. "It's a surprise party for you. Can you come over?" Emily's heart leaped with excitement after the call ended. She spent the rest of the day dreaming about what could happen. Maybe Jerry was going to propose. She imagined him holding out a ring and asking her to be his wife. And then she would tell him about the baby. It would be perfect. She could not wait. That evening, Emily arrived at Jerry's place a little late. She was nervous but excited, clutching a small bouquet of flowers she had picked up on the way. As she walked in, the sound of music and laughter filled the air. But the moment she stepped into the room, her heart sank. There was Jerry, dancing with a stunningly beautiful woman. She was tall, with flawless skin, and a smile that could light up a room. Emily froze, her stomach twisting into knots. Jerry noticed her, and immediately stopped the music. The room fell silent as everyone turned to look at Emily. She felt like a stranger in her own life. Jerry smirked and walked over to her, his arm around the beautiful woman. "What is happening, Jerry?" Emily asked, too stunned to understand. "Who is she? What are you doing?" But to her surprise, Jerry looked away as if she did not exist. He looked at the crowd and smirked. "Ladies and gentlemen," Jerry announced, his voice dripping with confidence, "I want to make this very clear tonight. The Bible says that all old things have passed away, and behold, the new is here with us. Emily, right here, is my past, the burden I have been trying to get rid of all these years. But my beautiful princess, Sophia, is my future. I have only known her for a month, but she's the queen I want to spend the rest of my life with. She's divinely beautiful, like a goddess, and she is mine. Raise your glasses, and let's celebrate." Emily's hands trembled. The flowers she held fell to the floor with a soft thud. She stood there, frozen, unable to believe what she was hearing. Her mind raced, but no words came out. This couldn't be real. This couldn't be the man she had loved for 6 good years. But it didn't end there. Right in front of Emily, Jerry knelt down and proposed to Sophia. The room erupted in cheers and applause, but to Emily, it felt like the world was crashing down around her. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't think. The humiliation was too much to bear. All she could do was take one step back, then another, and another, until she turned and ran out of the house. As she fled, the sound of laughter followed her. Jerry's friends mocking her, pointing at her as if her pain was some kind of joke. She heard someone call her a fat pig, and the others laughed louder. Emily's heart shattered into a million pieces. 6 years of love, devotion, and sacrifice had led to this moment of humiliation. She had given everything to Jerry, and in return, he had thrown her away like she was nothing. The night air was cold against her skin as she ran, tears streaming down her face. She didn't know where she was going, but she knew one thing for sure. Her life would never be the same again. Emily stumbled into her apartment and locked the door behind her. She collapsed to the floor, her body shaking with sobs. Tears streamed down her face, hot and endless, until her eyes felt raw and swollen. She reached for her phone, hoping to find some comfort, but instead, it only added salt to her wounds. Clips of Jerry's cruel proposal were everywhere. Social media was buzzing with the humiliation she had endured. People laughed, shared memes, and mocked her pain. Her heart ached as she scrolled, each comment cutting deeper than the last. A cold, fierce anger began to rise inside her. She clenched her fists, her tears drying as a fire burned in her chest. "I'll make him pay," she whispered, her voice trembling but determined. But then, her hands drifted and touched her womb, where her unborn baby rested peacefully. Her anger softened, replaced by a wave of love and protectiveness. She wiped her tears and made a vow. She would raise this child alone, and she would show Jerry what true strength looked like. For days, Emily stayed inside, too heartbroken to face the world. The betrayal weighed heavily on her, but deep down, a spark of determination began to grow. She would rise again, stronger than ever. But for now, she let herself grieve, knowing that her journey was just beginning. Meanwhile, Jerry's life with Sophia started like a fairy tale. The day he married her, he felt like a king. His friends clinked glasses, slapped his back, and cheered, "You won, man. She's such a catch." Sophia, with her glossy hair and perfect smile, beamed beside him, and Jerry soaked in the envy of everyone around him. For a few months, they lived in a whirlwind of luxury dinners, fancy vacations, and Sophia's glamorous photo shoots. Jerry felt like the luckiest man alive. 6 years with Emily had felt like a slog, but with Sophia, life was fireworks. Until Sophia became pregnant. At first, Jerry was thrilled. "We will soon have a baby," he announced proudly to his friends, puffing his chest out. But after their daughter Lily was born, everything changed. Sophia's perfect body, the one Jerry had spent thousands to show off, had softened. Her curves faded, replaced by stretch marks and stubborn weight. As she looked at herself in the mirror, Sophia was not satisfied with her body transformation. Desperately, she asked Jerry to pay for a body enhancement surgery to retouch her fading looks. "I want to look better than before, Jerry. I can't go on looking like this. My friends will laugh at me," she insisted, disturbing Jerry every day until he eventually gave in, paying for the surgery with all the cash in their savings. But in the end, the operation went horribly wrong. Sophia came home bandaged and swollen, her skin lumpy and uneven. The doctor had made a terrible mistake, and it showed on her body. Instead of the perfect figure-8 body, her skin sagged and became flabby. From that moment, Jerry came to terms with the harsh reality. The true colors of his wife began to show, one after the other. Sophia was a very messy, dirty, and nonchalant woman. She was jobless, and so she stayed at home all day, eating junk food and watching television. She no longer had the trim body that earned her money, the body that had been her only source of income. Their once sparkling home reeked of takeout boxes and cigarette smoke. Every morning after Jerry left for work, Sophia's rowdy friends barged in, women with loud laughs and louder voices. They would blast music all day, spill wine on the carpet, and ignore the little baby's cries. Jerry would return exhausted from his job to find smashed bottles lying about on the dirty floor and Sophia snoring on the couch. Jerry could no longer take it. One night, he screamed at his wife. "Sophia, this has to stop," he yelled, holding up a napkin. "Look at this house. Look at you. You don't even care about Lily. You are so dirty. What is wrong with you?" Sophia rolled her eyes, blowing cigarette smoke in his face. "Oh, please. You think you're perfect? If you hate it here, I'll take Lily and leave. Maybe then you will feel better." In spite of how annoyed he was, Jerry's heart melted whenever she said that. He could not stand the thought of Sophia leaving with their baby. His friends stopped visiting him. The same guys who had hailed him when he married her. They kept their distance and laughed at his misfortune among themselves. Jerry was alone in his struggles, and now he was trapped. He didn't know it yet, but his nightmare was just beginning. Somewhere across the town, Emily was quietly rebuilding her life, with a secret Jerry would never see coming. In another city far, far away, Emily quietly rebuilt her life. After giving birth to her baby, Jerry's baby, she vowed to become a woman no man could ever look down on. Every dawn, she laced her worn sneakers, kissed her daughter's sleeping face, and ran through the dusty streets, trying to shed off the body weight that had earned her such humiliation. She did squats under the mango trees and lifted water jugs as weights. Her muscles screamed, and her breath burned. But she refused to quit. But one morning, her legs gave out to the pressure. She collapsed on a wooden bench near the market, sweat pouring down her face, gasping for air and strength. Suddenly, she felt a tap on her shoulder. "Hey, you look tired. Please have some glucose." It was a man's voice, warm and steady. Emily looked up to see Raymond, tall and well-built, holding out a small bottle of glucose. His eyes were kind as he smiled up at her. "Thank you," Emily whispered breathlessly, gulping the sweet liquid. "You run like a warrior," Raymond said, sitting beside her. "But even warriors need rest." Emily wiped her brow. I have to keep going. For my daughter." Raymond nodded. "I understand. I run to forget my sorrows too." "Do you run around here every morning?" she asked him, feeling curious. "Yeah, sure. How about you?" And that was how it all began. Every morning, they jogged together on the streets in silence, exchanging only smiles and nods, and a few words. Soon, they exchanged contacts and began to see each other. The warmth and trust between them began to expand. "Why do you keep seeing me in secret?" she asked him one day. "Aren't you married?" Raymond's face softened suddenly, his eyes showing some signs of sadness and pain. "My wife left me," he said suddenly, staring at his trembling hands. "When I got cancer, she said I was a burden. She left our son with me and fled. She has not returned till date." He swallowed hard to keep the tears from flowing. "I fought the sickness alone and got back stronger. That's why I run every morning, to prove I'm still alive and to forget my heartache." Emily's heart ached. She felt deeply sorry for him. The pain they shared was mutual. Without thinking, she confessed, "My baby's father. He proposed to another woman in front of everyone. Called me a burden too after spending 6 years with him." Raymond turned to her, his eyes wide. "How could a man do that? You're beautiful. You're enough." Emily hugged herself, the memory raw. "I loved him for 6 years. He threw me away like trash." "Love shouldn't destroy," Raymond said softly. "It should lift you up." They began meeting daily, sharing stories under the rising sun. Raymond showed Emily a faded photo of his son, Kofi, a boy with his father's bright smile. "He's my only source of joy," Raymond whispered. Emily spoke of her daughter's tiny hands, her first giggles. "I want her to grow up proud, to know that her mother never gave up. I want to be a great mom for her." One morning, as they stretched near the river, Raymond paused. "You inspire me, Emily. Every day, you rise." Emily looked away, her cheeks warm. "You inspire me too, Raymond." Their fingers brushed as they reached for the same water bottle. Emily pulled back quickly, but Raymond's gaze lingered. A silent question hung in the air. Neither dared to answer it. Not yet. But in that moment, Emily felt something new. A flicker of hope, fragile but unbreakable. Emily and Raymond's bond grew like the sunrise, steady, warm, and full of promise. Weeks later, Raymond invited Emily to his apartment. Kofi sat shyly on the couch, clutching a toy car. To his surprise, Emily showed up with her daughter too. The two kids had a great time in Kofi's room, while their parents engaged in the living room. Emily's heart swelled as she stared at them. Raymond smiled too. "They're meant to be siblings," he said quietly and winked at her. A month later, under a starry sky, Raymond knelt outside Emily's doorstep. "Marry me," he said, his voice trembling. "Let's heal and grow together." Emily didn't hesitate. She accepted the ring and hugged him, her eyes glistening with tears of joy. Their wedding was simple, a modest gathering with Kofi and Ada clapping as they exchanged vows. "You're my fresh start," Raymond whispered, slipping a gold band onto her finger. Months later, Raymond arrived home looking excited and breathless, his tie crooked. "Emily, can you imagine? The bank just promoted me to main manager." He spun her around, laughing. "Really?" Emily gasped, feeling proud of her man. "This should not come as a surprise. You've been working so hard. You deserve it." "It's all your doing," Raymond said, beaming like a child. "Since you came into my life, it's been one joy to the other. You've brought so much luck and sunshine into my life." Days later, he parked a sleek, brand-new car outside their home. "It's for you," he said, the car keys glinting in his palm. "You deserve more than tired legs and bus rides." Emily hugged him, tears in her eyes. "This is so wonderful, Jerry. Thank you." Meanwhile, Jerry's misery grew from bad to worse. His job could no longer pay the bills, and so he took on a night shift role in a hotel far from home. Every night, he stacked chairs and cleaned glasses in the hotel. His second job left him drained, but Sophia's endless demands gave him no choice. It was just a matter of survival. As he stepped into the banquet hall, laughter caught his ear. A group of well-dressed guests clinked wine glasses. Among them, a woman in a crimson dress, her smile radiant, her curves confident. Jerry froze, his eyes recognizing her immediately. Emily! Was she really the one? Jerry was astonished. The last time he'd seen her, she was fleeing his betrayal, tears streaming down her face. Now she glowed like royalty, her hand resting on a man's arm looking radiant and happy. "Sir, move!" A waiter shoved past, snapping Jerry back. He ducked behind a pillar, his heart pounding. How? How did she... Emily's gaze suddenly swept the room. Jerry hunched lower, looking away. But it was too late. No. Jerry stumbled into the kitchen, his breath ragged. She saw me. She saw me like this. I need to get away. Meanwhile, Emily frowned, her chest tight. "Raymond, I'll be back," she murmured, slipping away. She searched the hallways, heels clicking. "Jerry?" she called softly. Only silence answered. Near the service exit, Jerry pressed his back to the wall, fists clenched. "I can't face her. Not after what I did." Emily paused, staring at the empty corridor. For a moment, pity flickered in her heart. Then she lifted her chin. Maybe he was not the one, she thought. The face looked too old and wrinkled to belong to Jerry. She returned to Raymond's side, her smile steady. Jerry watched from the shadows, his reflection in a dirty window mocking him, a ghost of the man he had once been. Jerry shuffled into his dimly lit apartment, his uniform stained with sweat from his night shift. Sophia lay sprawled on the couch, scrolling through her phone, their daughter whimpering on a dirty mattress nearby. "Sophia, I saw Emily today," he muttered, collapsing into a rickety chair. Sophia didn't glance up. "Who?" "Emily, my ex. She was at the hotel with a man. She looked different, healthy, happy, even her clothes." Sophia's phone clattered to the floor. "Your ex?" She sprang up, eyes blazing. "Why were you staring at her? Am I ugly now, huh?" Jerry flinched. "No, I was surprised. She's changed." "Changed?" Sophia snatched their crying daughter off the floor. "Yes, she has changed because there's a man taking care of her, spending money to get her the body she wants. Look at you. Look at what you've made me become. I need to get back my shapely figure, Jerry. I need to look like the pretty angel I was. I don't care how you'll do it. I need to fix my body, or else I will leave." Jerry's shoulders sagged. "We have no money, Sophia. The last surgery cost everything." "Find it." She thrust the child into his arms. "Or I'll leave. You'll never see her again." For days, Sophia's rage simmered. She slammed pots, ignored their child, and hissed, "Useless man!" Each time, Jerry stumbled home exhausted. One night, she cornered him as he counted crumpled bills. "Get the money." She gripped his collar, her breath hot. "Or I swear, Jerry, I'll vanish with her." Defeated, Jerry trudged to the bank. The loan officer frowned. "Mr. Jerry, your debt is already high. This is risky." "I have no choice," Jerry whispered, signing the papers with trembling hands. He put up his apartment as collateral. Weeks later, Sophia emerged from surgery, bandages wrapped tight. When they peeled them off, she twirled before the mirror, her curves restored. "Look at me. I'm beautiful again." She kissed Jerry's cheek, acting sweet. "Thank you, my love." For a while, peace settled in their home. Sophia no longer yelled at Jerry when he arrived from work. Instead, she slowly resumed her lifestyle as an OnlyFans model, chatting with different men and showing off her new body. Sometimes, she went away on nightly visits, returning very late at night. She did not care what her husband felt. "Sophia, Lily has been alone at home all day. Where have you been?" "I was out with friends," she snapped, her sweetness evaporating. "Stop policing me around." The apartment reeked of stale perfume and cigarette smoke. Sophia sat cross-legged on the couch, her phone propped on a stack of unpaid bills. She giggled at a comment from a stranger online, her newly sculpted curves displayed in a body-hugging dress. Their daughter tugged at her sleeve. "Mama, I'm hungry." "Not now," Sophia snapped, shoving a bag of chips at her. Jerry stumbled in, his eyes bloodshot from overtime shifts. He froze, watching Sophia blow a kiss to her screen. "What are you doing, Sophia? Another video? The loan payment is next week. We'll lose the house." Sophia smirked, not looking up. "Then work harder. My fans pay better than your pathetic jobs." Jerry grabbed her phone. "Stop this. You're a mother. Our child needs you." Sophia yanked it back, her voice icy. "You think I'll play housewife in this dump? Look at you, poor, tired, nothing. I'll leave if you keep nagging." Their daughter burst into tears. Jerry scooped her up, his voice breaking. "Please, Sophia, at least think of her. Think of this." Sophia flashed a wad of cash from her purse. "My new dress cost more than your salary. Pathetic." Jerry retreated to the kitchen, clutching his daughter. Through the doorway, he watched Sophia pose for the camera, her laughter sharp and hollow. The loan papers trembled in his hands. He only had a few weeks left. That night, Sophia's phone buzzed nonstop, men's names flooding her screen. Jerry lay awake, his daughter's steady breaths the only comfort. Somewhere, a clock ticked louder. Jerry sat in the dim glow of a flickering bulb, his sweaty hands clutching crumpled bank notices. He only had 2 weeks left. 2 weeks and the house would be taken away from them. Jerry's panic grew. The following day, he made his way to the bank. "I need to see you privately," he said to the manager. "It's a very delicate matter, please." Mr. Raymond looked at him, his brows furrowed. "Why can't we meet here?" "As I said, it's a delicate matter. Please understand." The manager gave him his contact and address. Jerry showed up that evening, his eyes full of worry and concern. "Please, sir," Jerry pleaded, voice cracking. "I just need 1 more month and I'll repay, I promise. I'll sell everything." Raymond sighed. "Mr. Jerry, you've had extensions. The bank cannot." The door opened softly. Emily walked in, a lunchbox in hand. "Raymond, I brought you." Her words died as her eyes landed on Jerry. The lunchbox slipped from her fingers, hitting the carpet with a dull thud. "You?" Emily whispered, her face pale. Jerry shot to his feet, knocking over his chair. "Emily, I didn't know he was your—" Raymond stood, confused. "Emily, do you know this man?" Emily's finger trembled as she pointed at Jerry. This is the man who humiliated me, who left me pregnant and alone." Jerry's throat tightened. I was wrong. I'm begging." "Begging?" Emily's voice rose. "You threw me away like trash. What are you doing here?" Raymond stepped closer, his calm demeanor fraying. "Emily, this is the client who's defaulting on his loan?" Raymond's chest heaved as he stared at Jerry, his voice low and trembling. "You humiliated her, left her with nothing, and now you beg us for help?" Jerry fell to his knees, palms pressed together. "Emily, please help me speak to him. I have a daughter. She'll lose her home." Emily turned away, trying to keep herself still. Raymond stepped closer, his shadow swallowing Jerry. "You think chase your sins? Leave my house. Now." "No, please." Jerry clawed at the desk, knocking over a photo of Emily and Raymond's happy family. "I'll pay. Just give me time." Raymond jabbed the intercom button. "Security. Now." Emily looked at him, her feelings mixed with anger and sympathy as he pleaded for mercy. The door burst open, 2 guards yanked Jerry up, his shoes scraping the floor. "Emily!" he screamed, voice breaking. "Don't do this!" Raymond pulled Emily close, shielding her from Jerry's outstretched hand. "The bank officers will come on the due date. You better get the money before then, or else..." As the men dragged him out, Jerry's wails echoed down the hall, a broken man meeting the karma he had sown. Jerry staggered into their dimly lit apartment, his clothes disheveled and eyes bloodshot. Sophia sat on the couch, scrolling through her phone, their daughter asleep in a corner. "Sophia, I saw Emily again today," he whispered, scratching his head. She didn't look up. "Really? What happened?" "Emily, my ex, the one I left. She's married to the bank manager. He refused to consider me. The house, we'll lose it." Sophia finally glanced at him, her lip curled. "And what? You're the man. Fix it." Jerry sank to his knees, hands shaking. "I tried! They threw me out! Emily hates me! Her husband too! They won't listen!" Sophia laughed, cold and sharp. "You took the loan. You ruined us. And now you cry? But our child..." "Your child!" Sophia snapped, standing over him. "You think I will live on the streets? You either find the money, or I'm gone." Jerry clutched her arm. "Please don't say that." She yanked free, her eyes blazing. "You know what to do, Jerry. Find the money." Jerry crumpled to the floor, his face twisted in frustration. Sophia turned away, her face stone cold. In her mind, she was hatching a plan. She had to escape. 4 days later, Jerry returned from work late at night. He opened the door and called his wife's name. No response. He called his daughter. Same thing. Jerry was surprised. He searched the entire place, but they were nowhere to be found. When he returned to the living room, he found a note on the table. It was a short note from Sophia. Jerry began to read. "I'm sorry for leaving you this way, Jerry. I could not stand by and watch us become homeless, living on the streets. I deserve better. You need to work harder and fix yourself. I'm a queen, and I need to live like one. I wish you all the best. Goodbye." A lump formed on Jerry's throat. He swallowed hard, tears forming on his eyes. What did he do to deserve this? He wondered. But then he remembered Emily. Was this karma's way of getting back to him after all these years? For the next few days after Jerry left their house, Emily tried to reason with her husband about his plight. "I know he deserves to be paid back for what he did," Emily said. "But let us temper justice with mercy. Just give him a little time. Maybe he will pay back as he said." Raymond was surprised to hear this from his wife. "Honey, I am a businessman," he said, "and I have to stick to the rules. Even if I wanted to reason with anyone, it would never be a man like that. A man who treated you like trash. I can't." Emily tried hard to talk him out of it, but Raymond stood his ground. 5 days later, officials from the bank showed up at Jerry's apartment. They cleared his house to the last pin and took it away from him. For the very first time in his life, Jerry was homeless. He approached some of his friends for help, but they all turned him down and laughed at him behind his back. He was destroyed by the simple choice he made over his life partner, choosing mere appearance over character and virtue. He could not eat his cake and have it. Dear friends, what do you think about this story? Did Jerry deserve a second chance? Let me know in the comments section. Please like and share this video, and subscribe to this amazing channel for similar content. Thank you.